Cut. Rebuild. We've been from sea to shining sea, and if freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose, we're singing a different tune. Before we get our motor running and head out on the highway, the Charger needs suspension for some heavy metal thunder.
You know, I thought the Charger project was moving along quite well, but Josh tells me that today we might actually get into an altercation. I was hoping to see you actually working when I got here.
No, not yet. Way to work for you.
Nice to see you. Good trip, I hope.
I'm Bill Riley. I own Riley Motorsports. We make front and rear suspensions for Chrysler muscle cars. Essentially, we'll start with the upper control arms and take those off. When we start an install, basically you remove the entire front suspension. Wheels, control arms, the old K-frame out, right up to your factory steering column.
Not having an engine in the way is also a pretty good idea. Bill gave us extra marks for that.
After we removed the K-member, we looked at the 4 mounting holes, I guess you would call them the weld nuts that accept the large bolts, and one of them was cracked.
And it's common, it happens a lot. The cars are 40 years old now.
Yeah, all the way around.
I guess we've discovered what original parts are still on this car.
Then we had to grind off the bump stops.
Getting the bump stops off was a little bit more difficult because we didn't have the right grinding wheels here. A thinner cutoff wheel would have worked much better.
So what do you think?
That's good.
Yeah? You live with that?
Yeah, I can live with it. Once we had the bump stops cut off, then we had to bolt the new frame back in, which goes in with the stock K-frame bolts.
Bill's first suspension system was actually for his own car. After taking it to a few shows, the requests started coming in, and a business was born.
No, or you could do that.
Bill Riley knows Mopars better than some of the people who work the assembly line.
After bolting up the K-member, 4 holes had to be drilled through the 2 front rails. Pretty much just a reinforcement.
Are you happy with that?
Well, you have to keep them straight because there's a plate that goes on the backside. And if you're a little crooked, the holes won't line up.
I drilled the holes and they were off by a fraction of an inch. So we just take a little deburring tool and just hit it for a second, open it up, and the bolts go right through.
Once the frame was installed, then the lower control arms go on next, which is just a slip-in bushing, and then there's a long shaft that you grease and just hammer it straight through. We even provide a little bolt so you can screw that in and hammer on the bolt so you don't damage the shaft or anything. Josh had a little trouble on the one side with getting a shaft in.
Oh, I think I see what's wrong.
What?
There's a little piece of metal where the thread was tapped.
Suddenly, there was a major dilemma for about 2 seconds.
Just a little extra force was all that we needed to apply. And once that's in though, it's fairly simple. Just put a screw in each end and tighten it up and it's on.
Why, Josh, here, have a conveniently pre-assembled coilover.
Why, thank you, Dad.
Yep, it's nice to have the inventor conveniently off to the side handing us parts.
After that, we put the spindles on, which is just a simple one of the normal ball joint and their normal Chrysler ball joints, so everybody's used to dealing with that sort of stuff. The upper control arm goes in, just normal mounts, normal bolts. Then the power rack goes in. Again, just 2 bolts. After that, the sway bar. They are greasable, so just like the lower control arms are greasable also.
The front suspension components that we put on today were amazing. The fact that you can take the Mopar body and go to a rack and pinion front end with the coilovers, that's pretty awesome.
All right, the purists are going to say that we deviated from original equipment, and you know what? They're right. But unless you're a fan of oversteering and bad brakes, this is the way to go.
Coming up, Bill's back to put a little curry into the recipe.
The connecting parts to the rear, you have to be just as strong as the rear, or there's no point in having it.
Okay.
Keep everything strong.